Yes.
Welcome to The Know, I'm Meg Turney, and happy end of 2015, everyone. It's been a very weird year for video game news. I mean, we had Law & Order trying to tackle Gamergate, of all things, a ridiculously weird Konami-Kojima thing that I'm still not convinced didn't include wife sleeping with, and way too many frame rate issues. 2016 is looking bright and full of new games to talk about, but, we couldn't let 2015 end without giving you one final update. And of course, by that I mean lots of mini updates. Of course, the biggest news from Christmas wasn't exactly what was in your stocking, but rather what Steam was showing off, and that was your personal information to other users. It only took 6 whole days after Steam showed off the sensitive user info for Valve to finally give a public update about the dreaded Christmas caching issue. So what exactly happened? The short version is that an attempted DDoS attack caused Valve to roll out a few cache updates to keep the service up and running, but clearly not everything went as planned. This is how Grinches steal Christmases in real life, people, except instead of Christmas balls and festive trees, we got phone numbers and street addresses. Welcome to the future. According to Valve, the personal information of 34,000 users was exposed, and Valve will be contacting any users whose information was displayed publicly just as soon as they figure out who those people are. Maybe it was all part of one of Valve's infamous ARGs. You use your friend's credit card information to unlock juicy Steam secrets or more games. While the caching issue wasn't part of an ARG, obviously, it does seem like the winter sale actually is. After more than a week of tinkering and looking for secrets, the Steam Sale Detective subreddit, which is apparently a thing, has confirmed that there is some kind of ARG component to this year's holiday event. Apparently, opening any store page and typing search produces a password prompt. So far, the only passwords that have worked have been on pages for Hitman, Codename 47, and Undertale. Now, for Hitman, the password was a long string of numbers found on one of the accompanying Winter Sale comics. The password leads to a string of characters, which, when added to the comic URL, leads to a mysterious sound file. Typical ARG stuff. People are especially excited about this because they're remembering that one of the last ARGs had to do with Portal 2, but I think what a lot of people are forgetting is that the Portal 2 Potato Sack ARG just led to the chance to play Portal 2 a couple hours early. It was going to be more than that, which would have been awesome, but apparently retailers pitched a fit and then Valve shortened the window of early release. Boo. Of course, the last ARG from Valve just led to the announcement of the Man vs. Machine update for Team Fortress 2, so let's just hold on to those Half-Life 3 rumors, just for now. I mean, it could be something big, and to be honest, they kind of owe us with this whole leak thing, right? So, if you want to start up the goodwill train, Valve, we'll forgive any and everything for Half-Life 3, honestly. Microsoft had its own share of rumors the last couple of days, most notably around a potential lightweight version of the Xbox One. The new version of the console would release in the latter part of 2016 at a much lower price point than its current version, which is currently priced at $350. The new Slim machine would only be Microsoft Store enabled and would be unable to play physical discs. Now, having a much cheaper version of the Xbox One would certainly help Microsoft gain some ground on Sony's tremendous lead this generation, but do keep in mind that this rumor has kind of gone around a couple times so far, just in the Xbox One's life cycle, which is not that long so far, and it's turned out to be false each time. So, we could be waiting on the Biggest Loser version of the Xbox One for just a little bit longer, or forever. In more virtual news, Japanese researchers are developing holograms you can actually touch and that can touch back. The Haptic clone is a box in which you can place objects. Users connected with the receiving box on the other end can interact with whatever's in your hand or even with your hand itself. This will allow for virtual handshakes for international business deals, I'm sure, and according to the demo, the ability to manipulate tiny beach balls for some reason. But, don't get too excited about sticking your goodies in there just yet, because the level at which they'd have to crank the ultrasound to get the intended effect would actually be harmful to humans in its current state. So, keep your dick in your pants for once. Although, to be fair, a dick in a box would make a ton of money. So, would it make as much money as Star Wars? Ooh, these segues just keep going. Disney's new moneymaker just passed the $1.2 billion mark this week worldwide and $600 million domestically. That puts it at the $1 billion mark one day faster than its prehistoric competition Jurassic World, and that film had the benefit of a day-and-date release in China, which was not the case with Episode 7. The $6 million in domestic earnings helped make 2015 the biggest year ever for the domestic box office, with over $11 billion total, proving that we love spending a lot of money to watch very silly and awesome movies. The big box office bucks aren't just a piece of the constant buffet of Star Wars news we got going on right now, which added some tasty additions over the last couple of days. Earlier this week, John Boyega informed eager fans that Episode 8 will begin filming in just a few weeks, which is pretty cool. Meanwhile, George Lucas is under a bit of Mustafar lava fire after some comments he made in an interview with Charlie Rose, where he compared Disney to white slave drivers. his words. This wonderful clickbait pull quote made the rounds yesterday, even though the interview has been up on Hulu in its entirety since last week. It does seem like Lucas was making a joke because he then awkwardly laughs off the whole thing, but he did use the phrase white slave drivers to refer to Disney, so I'm not so into giving him a pass here. People are also misquoting the interview to make it seem like Lucas didn't like the new movie, but the interview was filmed more than a month ago before he had even seen it. Since then, he's given the movie his blessing, but to be fair, he also gave his blessing to the prequels and the Star Wars Christmas special. So again, no pass for you, Mr. Lucas, and I'm not remotely sorry. Speaking of contentious prequels, CBS is suing the creators of a popular Star Trek prequel fan film, Axanar, citing copyright infringement, which does make sense considering the filmmaker, Alex Peters, accepted more than $1 million on Indiegogo and Kickstarter to produce the movie. Back in August, Peters was confident about the future of the movie's support by CBS, saying, "I think Axanar has become so popular that CBS realizes that we're just making their brand that much better," to which CBS replied, "Nah, bitch." The film was gonna focus on the 4 years' war against the Klingon Empire, but maybe it'll be kind of the same thing if they just focus on the legal battle ahead instead. Does raise a few interesting questions about whether or not the filmmakers will have to refund money to backers if production gets shut down, or if they even have the money to refund at this point. So, if any of you guys out there are thinking about making money to produce a derivative content type thing without licensing it, it was a bad idea before this. This should not have taught you anything. Big corporations aren't always cool about things like this. I mean, do you guys remember the Minecraft movie? Nobody does. In other derivative movie news, we got first screenshots this week from a couple different Hollywood projects based on comics and video games. Up first, Sir Benedict Cumberbatch, leader of the fierce Cumberbitches tribe, shows that he makes a pretty good Doctor Strange, to the delight of comic book geeks everywhere. EU posted a few shots of the very accurate-looking version of our dimension's greatest sorcerer, demonstrating that we just can't get enough of even the most C-list of Marvel's benchwarmer characters. But then again, they did make some pretty great movies with their second-tier heroes with Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, so anything is possible, especially with Bumblebutt Chunder Thighs, Eddy's words, in the titular role. We also got some early glimpses of Michael Fassbender and stills from the Assassin's Creed movie. Oh my god, so far the hoodie and eyeliner game is so strong and so hot. It's not just the sand that's hot, it's me. I want to touch him. He looks good. Anyway, we aren't sure exactly how much of the Assassin's Creed storyline is really going to be kept in the game, but we do know that he will be playing his own descendant, so you get 2 Fassies for the price of 1, which is just good economics in my mind. The movie will drop next year, which is just around the corner, so yay. So happy 2015, everyone. Hope it was good for you. It's been interesting, controversial, fun, and of course everything in between. Let us know your thoughts on today's stories or what some of your favorite stories from the last year were down in the comments. Of course, to be on top of the most important stories from 2016, like this video, subscribe to this channel so you can know what we know and be in the know on this show. Aren't you? Meanwhile, George Lucas is under a bit of Mustafar lava fire. I get it. Let's go back to Mustafar lava fire. Got it.